The biggest accessory trends for autumn winter 2025. The detail that has gone into this bag, I actually don't even think you're going to believe it. This will be beautiful with, let's say, winter wedding outfits or winter occasion wear. When you purchase the mini arch, it comes with this strap and you're picking up this separately. Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kira and I'm your resident style solutionist. I share videos on shopping for the best basics on the high street, how to build a capsule wardrobe, and lots of fun trend videos. So if that sounds good to you, then do hit subscribe because I would love to have you back for more videos. So in today's video, I'm doing a roundup of the biggest accessory trends for autumn winter 2025. If you're new to my channel, I absolutely love talking about trends and doing roundups of the biggest trends that we're going to see for the season ahead. But I always say it in these videos that it is not about completely overhauling your wardrobe and buying into all of these trends. It's more so about finding inspiration for ways that you can style what you already have. So in today's video, we're going to be covering all of the biggest trends across accessories. That is everything from handbags to footwear to jewelry to gloves, hats, scarves, and everything in between. As always, I will leave links to everything that I mention right down in the description below. So let's kick things off with the very first trend we're going to be seeing for autumn winter 2025, and that is fringe details. Whether you love it or hate it, fringing is back with a bang for autumn winter. We definitely saw this trickling in throughout the summer and we saw fringe details on things like jackets, handbags, but really it is set to grow in popularity for autumn, and we're seeing things like full fringed boots. We're seeing fringing on our loafers, on our shoes. We're also seeing it on our handbags, for example. And it's not just a heavier suede fringing, for example. That's kind of the first thing that you'll think of, but we're also seeing finer fringe details and things like tassels. You know, those beautiful kind of almost satin fringe tassels that you can see on the hems of dresses or coats. We're seeing a lot more of this, and it doesn't necessarily need to be styled in this really maximalist way. You can include elements of fringing into your outfit without going overboard. As this video is really about accessories, I do think that when it comes to really kind of new and exciting and a bit more maximalist trends like fringing, I think using your accessories is the best way to incorporate it without going overboard. So trend number 2 is going to be no surprise to anyone, and it is suede fabrics. If this is the first time you're hearing about suede as being one of the biggest trends for autumn winter 25, then where have you been? It is probably the biggest trend across the board, and that's because it is spanning across not only our clothing but also all over our accessories as well. So things like suede in our footwear, we have suede loafers, suede ballet flats. There are some beautiful suede knee-high boots on the high street. And in my personal opinion, sometimes when it comes to boots, I would either go for a good quality faux suede, or if you're going to go for real suede, invest in a good suede protector spray. I'll link one of my favorite ones below. It's from Amazon. It is, I think, under €15. So I mentioned suede footwear, but suede handbags is really the biggest way that I think this trend is being incorporated. And I adore a suede handbag. There is something so chic and gorgeous about the texture of suede. And I feel like adding a suede handbag offers a beautiful bit of interest and texture to our outfit. So I have a new suede handbag to show you today, and I think that this just might be the most practical and the most functional suede bag that I have found, and that is a tall order because you know I love a suede handbag. This is the newly launched Horizon bag in the espresso suede, and it's from the brand Kai bags. Now you guys know already that I love finding you the best mid-range handbag brands. So Kai bags are a Belgian brand founded by 2 women, and their whole ethos was to combine style with functionality, and they wanted to make bags that were so beautiful and stylish but also extremely practical for the modern woman. The detail that has gone into this bag, I actually don't even think you're going to believe it. So this is made from 100% Italian suede leather, and you can really see it in the quality. It's so beautiful to touch. This bag has that slouchy, pillowy style that is also a massive trend for autumn as well. I need to show you some of the details of this bag. You have a really large tote size, as you can see. You have a really nice drop on the shoulder here, and these are reinforced handles, so they're going to be extra sturdy. As you can see here, this is a large size, so this fits up to a 16-inch laptop, which I think is the largest size. It has a zipped closure, which so many tote bags don't have. You can see the beautiful croc leather effect on the top, and also on the bottom of the bag they have this croc leather. I always really appreciate when suede bags have this type of material on the bottom because it just protects it that little bit more. It has 5 different feet and there's like a nice bit of height to the feet, so if you pop this down on a surface or even down on the ground, it is going to protect the bag. It has so many compartments. It actually has a little secret compartment on the outside here, so even if you have the bag fully zipped, you can still access this little sneaky compartment, and it's the perfect size for a phone. You can fit some makeup in here. We have a large laptop compartment which actually has this little Velcro closure, meaning that your laptop and laptop case can go in here. It's going to be super protected because it also has padding. 3 different compartments here. Also the lining, look at that beautiful blue. It's like a suede material. I kind of appreciate when bags have like a fun interior lining. It's basically like an organization station. You have this little pouch here that you can put a bottle in. Then we have a zipped compartment here, which is a nice size again for travel documents, anything that's a little bit more delicate that you want to separate. I always appreciate when totes have this. You have a really long little D-ring hook that actually detaches as well, so you can attach, let's say, an AirPods case. You can attach anything like a wallet. When I first saw this, I wondered what it was, but actually I remembered that I know exactly what it's for. It's so clever. So on each side of the bag you have these pop fasteners. Depending on how you want the shape of the bag to look, you can have them lie flat, and then on this side here they're also there, but there's also this tiny little leather hook. If you're traveling and you have this bag on top of a suitcase, you simply attach it through the little loops. Can you guess what this is? This is a strap so that your bag doesn't fall off your suitcase. I cannot tell you how many times this has happened to me with my handbags. So I just think it's such a clever, thought through detail. It really shows me that this bag was designed by women for women, which I absolutely love. I had to show you all of the different details for the Horizon bag, and obviously the suede is my favorite. I just cannot resist that real chocolate espresso suede color. I feel like it's so on trend, but it's also such a practical bag. If you wanted something that was in a beautiful Napa leather finish and something that was even more hard wearing, they have other colors as well. But I'm going to move on to the next trend that we're going to talk about, which is animal prints. Animal print is a huge trend for the coming season, and we are not just seeing it in our footwear, in our accessories, we're seeing it in gloves, in handbags, even in hats. We're seeing it in belts. This year we're seeing a move into lots of different types of animal print. So we're seeing not just leopard, but we're seeing things like Dalmatian print. We are seeing cow print. We're seeing giraffe print even. We're also seeing zebra print, and we're also seeing kind of horsehair or cow hair finishes. However, I think that my favorite animal print to style, and the one that I kind of have the most of in my wardrobe, is snake or python print. Python or snake print is actually really easy to style because most of the time it actually comprises of neutral colors. So I have a beautiful pair of snake print boots that just go with everything in my wardrobe. When I feel like my outfit needs a little bit more interest or a little bit more visual texture, I will go for my snake print shoes, and they always just tick the box. So I had it in mind to find a really nice snake print handbag. So this is the Icon Clutch from K Handbags. So even though it's a print and it's giving that visual texture, as I said, it's exciting, but it's so neutral. So I know that this is something that is going to go so well with everything that's already in my wardrobe. I always say this, that brown offers a bit more like richness and interest than black, but it's equally as versatile. So I'm always really happy to go for this shade. When I talk about mid-range bags, I always really love calling out ones that are multi-way, and the Icon Clutch is actually super clever because there are multiple different ways that you can wear this bag. You have this little detail where you have your strap. You can easily remove this. So as it is, the strap is a really good size for popping under the arm. This will be beautiful with, let's say, winter wedding outfits or winter occasion wear. Again, it has that beautiful deep color. It's amazing when you can get multiple wears in one. So the Icon bag also comes with an additional strap. So you have this beautiful strap. Again, it's in the matching python print, so you can easily switch them out. So you're changing it from this beautiful shoulder under the arm bag to a gorgeous crossbody. And again, crossbodies are so practical. Because this strap is detachable, you can easily wear this handbag as a little clutch as well. And I feel like it's a really nice size for just a little handheld clutch. So really you're getting 3 different ways to wear this bag. from one purchase, which I absolutely appreciate. This is 100% calfskin leather, and actually I didn't show you the inside. It has a lot of room. See that kind of trapeze style? You can actually fit so much in here, and again, look at that beautiful blue lining. It's so fun. For me, I can get my phone, keys, wallet, a little bit of makeup. At a push, you could probably fit a very compact umbrella if you were minimal with everything else. It's actually such a practical style, as well as being really, really on trend. So moving on, the next trend that we're looking at with accessories is punk and maximalist details. This is a particularly fun one to talk about because this is something that I feel like we haven't really seen that much of over the past few years. I feel like punk and kind of grunge in general is obviously like a big subculture, and it's so connected to music. This season, fashion has become a little bit grungier. It's a bit more maximalist. It's a bit more loud. Now, while I don't recommend that you completely overhaul your wardrobe and adopt a new punk or grunge identity, however, you can incorporate small details as a way of really injecting fun and personality and that little bit of maximalism into your wardrobe. We are seeing stud details all over the catwalks. They're also all over the high street. We're seeing them on our footwear, on our flats, our boots, our knee-high boots. We're seeing them all across our handbags. We're seeing stud details, rivets, all of that kind of stuff. And we're seeing things like safety pin details. We're seeing those kind of grunge elements with prints like tartan, distress details, all across our accessories in general. Things like hats, hair accessories, scarves, gloves, you name it. But another detail, which I think is probably even a little bit easier to incorporate, is maximalist details. Bright colors, bright prints, larger, more eye-catching accessories. Something that I think really hits the nail on the head for this is this really clever acetate chain. So this is actually a separate piece that you purchase from Kai Bags, and you can use it with any of their handbags that have these attachments. So this handbag here is the mini arch in the cream color, and it's another one of their kind of smaller bag styles. I often say this, but I love in winter doing an all neutral or like an all cream or off-white look. I think it's so chic, but I feel like with the addition of something like this, you're adding so much more interest and personality into your accessories. And this comes in a few different colors. I particularly liked this color because I thought it offset really, really nicely. Now, looking at the mini arch, again, you can see this beautiful little arch style here. It is a small structured bag. So again, really, really good for occasion wear or great for one of those days where you just want the essentials. And you open it up and inside we have the additional strap. When you purchase the mini arch, it comes with this strap and you're picking up this separately. Although I do really, really recommend pieces like this as little add-ons because it gives you maximum styling opportunities. It's a thin crossbody strap, very sturdy. It's in the same gorgeous leather. And as much as I love the fun kind of chains and details like that, a crossbody is just always going to be the most practical style. So I love that the bag comes with this as standard, and then you can kind of have a bit more fun with this if you want. This strap would be my everyday version, and then I would use this style if I was, let's say, going to a wedding or an occasion or somewhere where I just wanted to be a little bit more dressed up. I think these kind of chain details, they offer that little bit of excitement to our handbags. I will link the 3 bags that I mentioned here in the description below so you can check them out. I will also leave info here on screen for my discount code, which you can use as well. I would love to know in the comments below which of these bags is your favorite. And I always come back to the fact that so many of the kind of high-end luxury labels are increasing their prices over and over, and the quality is just not up to par for me. So I love finding some of these homegrown brands, especially these female founded brands that are offering so much style and versatility and value for money at such a good price as well. So moving on, let's talk about another huge accessory trend for autumn, which is scarves and neckerchiefs and capes. I am kind of covering all of these in the one thing because they are all kind of throws and capes and scarf styles. I do feel like the humble scarf, which is always present in our wardrobes in autumn winter, has undergone a real revamp this year. I feel like it is such a style statement in itself. We're going to start by looking at neckerchiefs, which we saw all across the summer. They really have been so big this entire year. I myself am a massive fan of a neckerchief. They are actually so comfortable to wear. I don't feel like I'm swamped with fabric like I would with, let's say, a larger scarf, but they keep my neck really soft and cozy. They're also a nice bit of layering if you're wearing, let's say, a button-up shirt. They look great with like a plain shirt, a white t-shirt, even a simple knit. And the great thing about scarves, and always say this because I am a diehard scarf fan, is that they are such an easy way to add interest, color, texture, fun, maximalism to our outfits without investing too much or without adding too much to our wardrobe. So I highly recommend, if you don't have a few kind of fun printed scarves in your wardrobe already, you need to get some. You can find them in, you know, secondhand shops, you can find them on the vintage market, they're all over the high street. You can go a little bit more luxury if you want to buy into, you know, some brands. It's a very accessible way of getting, you know, let's say a luxury item to include in your wardrobe. You can wear them in lots of different ways in your outfit. You can wrap them around the handles of your handbags, not only to protect them, but also to add a little bit of interest, but also, of course, looking at wrapped, more caped styles. So something a bit chunkier coming into the cooler months of autumn. Things like tartan, herringbone, that kind of check print, which is very heritage in style, a huge trend for autumn, and also very practical because it offers an extra bit of warmth and comfort and just a nice cozy layer. Again, these kind of throws are great to find on the secondhand vintage market, but they are all over the high street as well. And then moving on for the throws, you have, let's say, actual poncho styles. So something even a bit bigger that you're wrapping around. Maybe you're belting it with a belt, cinching it in at the waist. If you feel like your outfit is feeling a little bit boring and you want to inject something, get a scarf. It will solve all of your problems. Another accessory trend that I have to mention in this roundup is the structural hat. Now, I think hats in general are huge news for autumn, and hey, it's that time of year, they always are. But we have definitely seen a shift in the style of hats that are extremely popular. I have been mentioning for months now that pillbox and structural hats are set to be huge for autumn. We saw them trickling in over summer, and I did say that we were going to see them across the high street, especially from select retailers in our kind of high street roundup. It's definitely a very different style, but I do think it's something that we are going to be starting to embrace more. And whether you're going for the proper like pillbox hat style, it's a very vintage inspired shape, but it's very modern now because we haven't seen them for a while. So just like so many things in fashion, the trend cycles just keep coming around. So we're seeing these like downturned styles. It's not quite a bucket hat. It's like a slimmer downturned style that we are seeing so much of. We saw raffia versions in spring, summer. Now in autumn, winter, we are seeing felt, wool and shearling versions as well. Two other hat styles that I think are going to be very big for autumn. I am a huge fan of a baker boy or a newsboy cap. I have a few styles that I have had, I'm not even kidding, since 2015, 2016. I have never gotten rid of them because every autumn, whether or not they're kind of in style, I will wear them. So it makes me very happy to see that they're having a big resurgence. So definitely baker boys, but also, I don't know, would you call them farmer caps or like traditional style caps? I think this style of cap is actually Irish in origin. A little bit of history for you. I think these caps are like coined milking caps. I think the farmer used to wear them with this peaked cap so that his head wouldn't hit off the cow when he was milking the cow. That could actually be completely incorrect, but that's my little bit of history for you. But I will obviously show you a picture, you'll see exactly what I mean. Nevertheless, these types of caps, which are very traditional in style, are back again. And I have it on my list to find a really nice version. I actually think I'm going to go into a proper kind of hat shop in Dublin and find a traditional one. I'd love like a grey or kind of like a green check one. I think it would be gorgeous. So moving on from hats, the next accessory trend for autumn we're going to look at is dramatic belts. You've probably heard me talk about belts already if you saw my previous trend videos for autumn where I talked about general trends. It's probably one of my favorite trends for the coming season because it is so easy to work with just about any outfit or any wardrobe. You can basically take the belts that you already have and restyle them in a more dramatic, maximalist way. However, I do think there are so many cool versions of belts on the high street that you can pick up if you want to style something different into your look. All of the trends that I've been talking about, punk details, suede fabrics, maximalism, you can find these in your belts. So for example, a chunky suede belt, maybe an asymmetric wraparound belt, maybe it's a chunkier kind of studded belt that has a few more punk details, or like a multi-buckle belt. You're kind of touching on lots of different trends in one, but I do think either using the belts that you already have and just layering them, maybe mixing different textures, different widths, different lengths, but then also maybe picking up one or two new styles that you can incorporate incorporate with what you have. I just think belting in autumn is a fantastic way to not only add those stylistic details, but it's also really flattering as well. I do love a nipped in waist blazer. It's one of my favorite styles to wear at the moment. However, not all of my blazers have a nipped in waist. So rather than rehauling my blazer wardrobe and buying loads of new pieces, I will simply take a really nice kind of chunky belt and wrap it around the waist to cinch it in. If you've not tried belting a blazer, belting knitwear, or even belting a coat or a jacket, it actually completely transforms the garment. It makes it look so much more intentional and so chic, and adds an element of dressiness to your outfit. So if you're looking to kind of dress up a look for something, maybe it's a daytime event and you're outside, you want to be warm and you're wearing your outerwear, try throwing a belt or perhaps two belts on over it and just watch how it transforms the look. I think it works so well. Now, another big trend we have to mention for the autumn season is the slouchy boot. And you may have heard me mention this in my overall trend videos, but it's probably the biggest footwear trend. So it would be remiss of me not to mention it. I know not everyone is the biggest fan of them, and I think the kind of type of slouch is completely up to you. So of course on the runways we've seen extreme versions of this. We've seen the over the knee, oversized extra slouchy boot. It's almost like a buccaneer or a pirate style boot. Not so easy to actually wear day to day. A very, very fun style nonetheless, lovely to see, but it might not be the most practical. You don't have to go full over the knee slouch. You can easily even go for a knee high style or an ankle style that has just a little bit more slouch to it. It's definitely not something that you need to go over the top with to really nail the trend. We've already seen a lot of this in the styles that are on the high street already, but we will be seeing more of it coming into autumn winter. I also predict that coming into the party season, we are going to see slouchy boots styled with dresses, with mini dresses coming into that time of year. But for now in autumn, you can wear them with tights, you can wear them with jeans, especially tucked into kind of a slim pair of jeans. I think it's a very refreshing style. And as I said, you don't need to go full crazy slouch. You can go for a slightly slouchier style. Even let's say an ankle boot with a slightly wider kind of opening at the calf or the ankle is still going to touch on this trend. And then finally, the last accessory trend that we're going to talk about in this roundup are retro glasses. I myself am very much rocking this trend today. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know how much I love a pair of spectacles, and I love retro style glasses. We're seeing this not just with glasses, but obviously with sunglasses as well. Chunky rims, very oversized styles. Again, more maximalist leaning, more vintage inspired. It has nods of the bohemian trend, which we see in our clothing so much this year. Also the 70s trend, which again, 70s glamour I've talked about in some of my clothing trend roundups. It's all huge for autumn winter. You might not be a huge fan of statement glasses or spectacles or sunglasses. You might prefer something a bit chicer, which is absolutely fine. I myself love it. I think it's really fun. It kind of touches on masculine kind of styling. I think for me, if I want to feel like my most kind of powerful and confident, I will wear like a matching suit, and I will wear either a pair of like sunglasses or spectacles in that kind of oversized aviator style. I always find it makes me feel so put together. There are so many versions of this on the high street, and I do think how kind of far you go is completely up to you, but I really, really enjoy it. Again, it's more kind of maximalist and out there, but it is a very, very fun trend that we are going to be seeing so much more of. So there you have it, guys. That is a roundup of all of the big accessory trends that we are going to be seeing for autumn. I really hope you enjoyed that roundup, and do let me know in the comments which of these trends are you embracing. Are there any of these trends that you are avoiding like the plague? I love hearing in the comments below what you guys think of all these trends, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my favorite bags from K Handbags. They are such a gorgeous female founded brand, so if you haven't already, I will leave all of their info in the description below so you can check them out. If you enjoy these trend videos and you would like to see more of them, then do give me a thumbs up to let me know, and if you have not already, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every single week, and I would love to have you back for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!